I said, this many. How many that is? Okay. Right. It's 10. And so I said, okay, start with this one.
To give voice to the voiceless through our photographs and shine light on injustice through our photos. Today I'd like to share a few stories. Some of the stories are a few years old and some of them are from just this past year. I was given an opportunity a few years ago of an opportunity of a lifetime, my dream assignment. I traveled to 6 African countries and documented people living on less than $1 a day. Across the world, millions of people live and survive on less than $1 a day.
Tucker also stuttered, was buttering her bread and muttering about stuttering when she saw a moth flutter from the rain gutter, land on her butter, then flutter back from her butter back to the gutter above the window shutter. Dutter shouted excitedly, I just saw a moth flutter from the gutter to my...
Ignoring the only glaring sign on that Sunday afternoon, trading his belief in the party dress for the politics of the open road, dangling behind the lethal wheel. And when it came to pass, it certainly wasn't the crash of the 30s that killed him, but a Pontiac sedan driven by a fruit tramp whose hand wet.
How many of you are here because you're interested in your own personal wellness and health? Okay, great. Yeah, anybody not? How many would like to have more unhealth in your life? Not many people. And the next question is, how many of you actually work professionally to help people have more wellness and health? Okay, retired, okay. And how many about helping people educate themselves in various fields of education? Okay, great. So we have a lot of...
Where I was waiting for him, you should be wearing a tighter shirt. He plunked down in the chair next to me, elbowed the door closed, and looked me over from head to toe. What? I stared at him, hoping that either A, I'd heard him wrong, or B, I'd heard him right, but he had a reasonable explanation for his annoying comment, which he was about to elaborate in a very polite manner. What are you reading? You read A Sheep, you already finished. What about Miss...
Let's talk a little bit about how this came into being. Well, for years, I had done Q&A, questions and answers, to open our show with. I was kind of terrified at first because the executive producer said, Carol, instead of having a stand-up comic come out and tell jokes before you start to do the show, you should come out and just interact with your studio audience so that they get to know you as you before you start putting on the fat suits and the fright wigs and blacking out your teeth. Improvised. We didn't have any plants in the audience or anything, and they had suggested that. And I said, no, you know, if I have egg on my face, it'll be honest and not too, I don't want anybody doing questions, you know. So as a result, a few years later, I started going on the road around the country and doing 90 minutes of Let's Bump Up the Lights and see if you all have anything you want to ask and talk about. Again, I never knew what anybody was going to do, and it was all random. But somehow, in doing the Q&As over the years in different venues and theaters, there would naturally be some of the same questions that would come about. You know, is Tim Conway really that funny in real life? I love that term, real life.
Like, Daddy doesn't want to get up no more.